Hello there, welcome you all in the physics arena. My name is Nitesh. Students, in a queue of video lectures, we all have learned about the various chapters of class 11. So, students, today with the help of this video lecture, we are going to speak about the chapter work, energy and power. So, first of all, I am going to give you class about the topic work. In our daily life, we are doing some work. Each and every day we are doing some work. So how we can define work? The first thing which comes in our mind that, sir, how we can define work? So work can be defined as whenever a body is subjected to any force, whenever a body is subjected to a force and the body gets displaced in the direction of force of application, then such phenomenon is said to be the work. Or in other words, we can say that when a force is applied to a body and the body gets displaced in the direction of applied force is said to be the work. So here I am going to give you the definition. Work is defined as, how we can define work? Work is defined as when a body is subjected to a force, when a body is subjected to a force and gets displaced in the direction of applied force, then such phenomenon is said to be the work is done. Then we can say that the work is done. Or in other words, how we can define work? So the next definition in the simple words, how we can define: when a force is applied, when a force is applied to the body causes displacement in the direction of applied force, then such phenomenon is said to be the work is done. Then we can easily say that, sir, work is done. Okay, then it is defined as work is done. So with the help of the diagram, with the help of a rough diagram, I am going to give you the glance how many types of the works are there and how we can define the specific conditions of works. So students, here I am writing. Hopefully you all have got the point how I have defined the work. So here we are going to discuss about the types of work and how we can categorize the work in the various subcategories. So just see here. So here, let us suppose that with the help of an example, let us suppose that this is a horizontal plane onto which a wooden block is kept. Let us suppose that this is the horizontal surface, this is the horizontal surface, this is the horizontal surface, okay, onto which a wooden block is kept. This is the wooden block. Okay, students? So, if a force is applied to this wooden block, and the wooden block gets displaced, the initial position of the wooden block was A. But now, after the application of this force F, it gets displaced and change its position to be here at point B. Then some distance covered by the object, some displacement caused by the object due to this application of force, then such phenomenon is said to be the work is done. Then, so the direction of force may be different. So on the basis of the application of force, we can say that the work is subcategorized into the different parts as follows. How we can define? Work is subcategorized work is subcategorized into three parts. How? The first one is the positive work done. First one is positive work done. Students, there are three types of the work done. That the first one is the positive work done. Then the next one is the negative work done. Negative work done. Third one is zero work done. Zero work done. With the help of its name, it is also defined that there is no work is happening. So one by one we are going to discuss about the different subcategories of the work done. So okay students, in order to discuss the various subcategories of the work, before going to give you the chance about the subcategories of the work as a positive work done, negative work done and zero work done, first we will go for the first of all we will discuss what is the definition of the word done mathematically. So let us suppose that if I am drawing here a figure once again, and this is the horizontal plane, and if the force applied to this wooden block makes an angle theta degree. So here the direction of force F makes an angle theta degree with the direction of displacement. Here the direction of force makes an angle theta degree with the displacement. So on the basis of the angle made by the direction of force with the displacement, we can say that we can give the work done can be calculated or work done is expressed mathematically. How we can define work done as mathematical expression? Mathematically, as we are knowing that what we are knowing that the force is a vector quantity. Students, children, as we are knowing that the force is a vector quantity and the displacement is also a vector quantity. So mathematically, work done can be expressed as work done is equals to force into displacement, and here the direction of force makes an angle theta degree, makes an angle. Here the force is also a vector quantity and displacement is also a vector quantity. But what we are doing here, we are doing here scalar product or dot product. So it will give rise that earlier we have discussed in the chapter of vector analysis that the dot product of the two vectors give f into s cos theta. So here theta is the angle between the direction of force and displacement. So this is the mathematical expression of the work done. On to behalf of that, we will easily explain the various categories of the work done, whether it is the positive, negative or zero work done. So one by one, with the help of this expression, we will go for the discussion of the positive, negative and zero work done. So students, let's start with the first topic, that is the positive work done. How we will define the positive work done. So the first topic is positive work done. So students, this is a the diagram, okay? theta becomes 0 degree. So Voltage can be given as, can be calculated as W is equals to, as we are knowing that F into S cos theta. So F into S, and here theta becomes 0 degree. So cos 0. Since we are knowing that theta cos 0 degree is equals to 1. So putting this value in this expression, W is equals to F into S. It means that from here we can realize that voltage is a positive quantity. We are getting the product of these force and displacement as a positive quantity. So we can say that the voltage is positive. It means that the students, when the direction of force applied and the displacement both are same, then we can say that the voltage will be positive voltage. Okay students, like when we are cycling, for example cycling. Okay students, so in case of cycling we are applying some force onto the pedal, and with the help of that force, which does some mechanical work, with the help of chain and wheel, we are moving in the forward direction. So we are applying the force, and in the same direction we are getting the displacement. So the direction of force and displacement both are same, then such type of the voltage is said to be the positive voltage. Okay students, now we are going to discuss about the negative voltage. Okay students, now we are going to discuss about the next category of the voltage, that is the negative voltage. So how we can define the negative voltage? How we can define negative voltage? Negative voltage means that whenever the direction of force applied is opposite to the displacement occurred in the object. With the help of a daily life example, you will understand very easily. Yes students, at our home there is a sofa onto which we are going to sit. So when we are sitting onto the sofa, at that time the spring, normal condition, the spring is like this. Okay, it is completely elongated. As we are applying a force onto the spring, it gets compressed like this. Okay students, like this. So here due to the application of force, the spring got compressed or contract. As the removal of this force, as we are just move out from the sofa, then what will happen? This spring which got contracted again got elongated into its original position. It means that force is applied, spring got contracted, and as the force removed, it got elongated its own position. It means that the direction of applied force and the displacement are different. So we can define the negative voltage if the direction of applied force, and displacement occurred in the body is opposite to each other, it means that is, in this case, theta becomes 180 degree. It means that both are opposite to each other. So mathematically voltage is equals to, and this phenomenon is said to be the negative voltage. Here mathematically voltage is equals to F into S cos theta, and here theta becomes 180 degree. So cos 180 degree. This theta is the angle between the angle made by the force to the horizontal. So cos theta 180, that is minus 1. So put this value in this expression, F into S cos 180 degree, which gives rise minus F into S. It means that here what we have observed, that the voltage is a negative product of the force and displacement. So we can say that voltage is a negative quantity when the direction of applied force and the displacement occurred is opposite to each other. Okay students. with the help of an example already I have given you the example for this discussion. So now we are moving towards the next subcategory of burden, that is the zero burden. How we can define the zero burden? Students, zero burden from its name it is clear that no work is to be done. No work will happen in this condition. How it is possible, sir? How it is possible no work is? Either the displacement is zero or the force is zero, or the third condition is that what I am saying, we are going to discuss about the zero burden. Zero work done. What does it mean? Zero burden means that as we are knowing that the burden equals to force into displacement and cos theta. No work is to be done. Already have learned when the theta is equals to 0 degree, then it is a positive burden. Positive burden. When theta is equals to 180 degree, it is negative burden. And now what we are doing, the next condition we are going to see, that is when the theta is equals to 90 degree, what will happen? If theta is equals to 90 degree, it means that when the direction of applied force and displacement are perpendicular to each other, it means that theta becomes 90 degree. And in this condition we can write that W is equals to F into S and cos 90. And since cos 90 is equals to what we are doing, as cos 90 is equals to 0, so put this value in this expression, so it will be F into S and cos 90 is equals to 0. It means that the burden will be 0. It means that no work is to be done in this condition. So with the help of the example, again I am going to give you the elaboration of the zero burden. Students, if a farmer is standing into the field, if let us suppose that this is a farmer and who is having a bunch of hay onto his head and is moving in his field. So at that time you can see that the weight of this all hay is acting in the downward direction. The weight is acting in the downward direction. Okay, and the displacement is in the horizontal. So here the displacement is horizontal. So in this condition you can see that the angle between the direction of force and the displacement is 90 degree. In this condition no work is to be done. So you can say that whenever a person who is standing or who is having a bunch of hay or a luggage onto his hand and moving in the horizontal direction, then at that time we can say that no work is to be done. In the similar fashion, we can also give that zero burden in the case of whenever a pulley is moving inclined plane. At that time also the displacement is along the horizontal plane and the total force or the weight of the luggage is acting in the downward direction. So the angle between the force and displacement is 90 degree. In this condition we can say that no work is to be done. Okay students, so with the help of various examples we have learned zero burden, positive burden and negative burden. Okay students, now we are proceeding towards the units of the burden and how we can define the burden in the terms of units. Okay students, now we are going to discuss the next topic, that is the dimensions and the units of work. How we can define the burden, how we can give the unit for the measurement of the work to be done. Students, as here it is written that dimension, first of all we will calculate the dimension in the terms of ml and t for the burden. So burden, as we are knowing that burden is equals to force into mechanical energy, tidal energy. So whatever be the kind of energy, if we are having its formulation mathematically, then we can easily give its dimension as m n to the power 2 and t to the power minus 2, where m is the mass, l is the length and t is the time. Okay students, and m, mass, length and time are the fundamental units. So in this manner we have calculated the dimensional formula of the water. Now we are going to discuss about the unit for the measurement of work. So how we can define the water? Students, as I have written here, the water is just a force into displacement. It means that force is given in Newton and displacement is in meter. So and also the SI unit of, here I am writing the SI unit of burden. SI unit of the burden is joule. So here we will write joule. So how we can define 1 joule? It means that the dimensional we can say that the burden having the unit as SI unit is joule and Newton meter in ampere system. So student, how we can define 1 joule? How we can define 1 joule work? So we can say that if someone is asking in your paper, define, it might be possible a question may arise, define 1 joule of work done. How you can define the 1 joule of the work done? Then we can write the answer as what? 1 joule of work is said to be done. We can say that when this work is to be done, what I have written here, 1 joule of work is said to be done when 1 Newton force, when 1 Newton force is applied to a body, displaces it by 1 meter. It means that when with the help of 1 Newton force, if a body gets displaced by 1 meter, then we can say that 1 joule of work is to be done. Okay students, so now we are going to give, this is the SI unit, okay, in the system. So here Newton meter is also Newton meter or joule is the unit of burden. So now we are going to ampere system. Now in CG system, how we can define the unit of the burden? Okay students, so hopefully you all have got this definition of the 1 joule of the burden. Now how we can give the unit of burden in CG system? Yes students, as I have said that the SI unit of the burden is joule, okay, and for force it is Newton, and for the displacement it is meter. As we are knowing that what we have defined that 1 joule of burden is said to be done when 1 Newton of force is applied to an object and the body gets displaced by 1 meter. In CG system, the work is converted into earth. Okay, here I am writing ERG. Earth is the unit of work. Earth is the unit of work in CGS system. In CGS system, the unit of work is earth. So how we can define what is the basic relationship between the joule and earth? So what is the basic relationship between the, here we are going to deduce a relation between joule and earth. It means that ampere system unit and CG system unit of the work, how they are interrelated with each other. So students, as we have written here, 1 joule is equals to 1 Newton defined. Hopefully you all have got what I have elaborated here. So we will meet in the next lecture. Stay tuned. Have a great day.